Viewers, welcome to our new video. In this video, we will going to cover nervous system MCQ. So let's start the video. What is the primary function of the nervous system? Digestion, coordination and communication, oxygen transport, hormone production. So the correct answer is option B. The primary function of the nervous system is coordination and communication. Which part of the neuron receives signal from other neurons? Axon, dendrite, synapse, myelin sheath. So the correct answer is option B. Dendrite is the part of the neuron which receives signal from other neurons. What is the protective covering of the brain and spinal cord called? Skull, meninges, cortex, ventricles. So the correct answer is option B. The protective covering of the brain and the spinal cord called meninges. Damage to the hippocampus is most likely to affect which function? Motor coordination, memory, vision, emotional regulation. So the correct answer is option B. Damage to the hippocampus is most likely to affect memory function. What is the function of the cerebellum? Memory storage, balance and coordination, vision processing, emotional control. So the correct answer is option B. The main function of the cerebellum is balance and coordination. What is the term for the junction between two neurons where signals are transmitted? Synapse, nucleus, cortex, ganglion. So the correct answer is option A. Synapse is the term for the junction between two neurons where signals are transmitted. Which part of the brain is responsible for regulating basic bodily functions such as breathing and heartbeat? Cerebrum, medulla oblongata, thalamus, hypothalamus. So the correct answer is option B. Medulla oblongata is the part of the brain which is responsible for regulating basic bodily functions such as breathing and heartbeat. What is the function of the myelin sheath? Speed of nerve impulse transmission, produce neurotransmitters, store energy, regulate body temperature. So the correct answer is option A. The function of the myelin sheath is speed of nerve impulse transmission. The peripheral nervous system is divided into which two main subdivisions? Sympathetic and parasympathetic, central and autonomic, somatic and autonomic, motor and sensory. So the correct answer is option C. The peripheral nervous system is divided into somatic and autonomic. Which lobe of the brain is primarily responsible for processing visual information? Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal lobe. So the correct answer is option C. Occipital lobe of the brain is primarily responsible for processing visual information. The parasympathetic nervous system is associated with which response? Fight or flight, rest and digest, sleep and relaxation, stress and anxiety. So the correct answer is option B. The parasympathetic nervous system is associated with rest and digest response. Which part of the brain is responsible for regulating hunger and thirst? Hypothalamus, thalamus, cerebellum, none of these. So the correct answer is option A. Hypothalamus part of the brain is responsible for regulating hunger and thirst. What is the primary role of the frontal lobe of the brain? Sensory processing, motor control, emotional regulation, thinking and reasoning. So the correct answer is option D. Thinking and reasoning is the primary role of the frontal lobe of the brain. Which structure in the brain is crucial for forming and storing long-term memories? Hippocampus, cerebellum, corpus callosum, none of these. So the correct answer is option A. Hippocampus structure in the brain is crucial for forming and storing long-term memories. Damage to the optic nerve is most likely to affect which sense? Hearing, smell, sight, taste. So the correct answer is option C. Damage to the optic nerve is most likely to affect sight sense. Which neurotransmitter deficiency is linked to condition like Parkinson's disease? Serotonin, acetylcholine, dopamine, none of these. So the correct answer is option C. Dopamine neurotransmitter deficiency is linked to conditions like Parkinson's disease. The sympathetic nervous system is often associated with which response? Fight or flight, rest and digest, sleep and relaxation, cognitive processing. So the correct answer is option A. The sympathetic nervous system is often associated with fight or flight response. Which neurotransmitter is associated with the regulation of mood, sleep, and appetite? Serotonin, GABA, norepinephrine, glutamate. So the correct answer is option A. Serotonin neurotransmitter is associated with the regulation of mood, sleep, and appetite. What is the primary function of the corpus callosum? Motor control, memory storage, communication between brain hemispheres, emotional processing. So the correct answer is option C. The primary function of the corpus callosum is communication between brain hemisphere. What is the role of the cerebrospinal fluid? Provide nutrients to the brain, caution and protect the brain, transmit electrical signals, control hormone release. So the correct answer is option B. The role of the cerebrospinal fluid is cushion and protect the brain. Which neurotransmitter is associated with muscle contraction and control? Serotonin, acetylcholine, dopamine, endorphin. So the correct answer is option B. Acetylcholine neurotransmitter is associated with muscle contraction and control. Which neurotransmitter is associated with mood regulation and pleasure? Serotonin, dopamine, acetylcholine, none of these. So the correct answer is option B, dopamine. Thanks for watching. Subscribe MCQs 1 for latest informative MCQs.